Good morning, my dear students. In today's class, we are going to discuss in the chapter electrostatics. The topic will be the relation between E bar and the potential. Already, I think I introduced you in the previous classes about the how the electric field and the electric potential are related. So today, exclusively, we'll discuss. It's a pure mathematical based oriented topic. That one. We need just a background. Like if you know potential, can you calculate field? If you know electric field, can you calculate the potential? Since it's a math-based notes in the books, they have explored a lot. Than this, what is much useful for us is like a potential energy concept, electrostatic potential energy, then problems numerical based on electrostatic potential. These are very essential for the JEE advanced means. So if you look at the advanced means, there are hardly any questions are there, but in books you get plenty of questions. Different. Since it's there in most of the books and in exam, you can encounter weekend exams, plenty of questions will come. So let me try to work out few numericals on this one. Let me take you to the screen. I will start like this. So already we had just a small discussion in earlier classes. So exclusively now we'll focus on this one. So now we know due to point charge, what is the electric field due to point charge. Already once again I discussed. So for your benefit, once again I'm bringing. So at point P, what is the potential? KQ by R, and we know what is the electric field strength? KQ by R square. Shall we differentiate this? And let me differentiate, we'll see first. So let me differentiate. dV is equal to minus KQ by R square into dr. So dV by dr is equal to minus KQ by R square. So this will become dV by dr. Okay, KQ by R square, what you can write it as E. So dV by dr equal to minus E. So how the electric field and potential are related, given by this particular formula. Okay, agreed, no? So there's a one thing. So if you know potential, just take the derivative of that, you'll get the electric field. Similarly, I want another thing. So we know work done F into dr, work done by any force. So I'm interested now, work done by electrostatic force. Work done by electrostatic force should be equal to F into dr, that one. Now work done by electrostatic force, what we can write it as minus of delta U. Work done by electrostatic force in moving a charged particle from 1 to 2. And now further, what is F? You can write Q E bar dot dr bar. Delta U, what we can write? Q into potential difference. So this Q gets eliminated. So minus of delta V is equal to E bar dot dr bar. So this will be nothing but the potential difference it is. So now let me do one thing, limit 1 to V1 to V2, 1 to 2. So this will become minus of V2 plus V1 is equal to integral of E bar dot d bar, or V1 minus V2. Instead, a generalized formula, what we can put it? dV is equal to minus of E bar dot dr bar. Okay, this will be our generalized formula. So if you know potential, so V1, V2, this is 1, 2. Before simplifying, okay, this is a thing. So this is what I'll be using to find out the, if I know field strength, I can find out the potential. If I know the potential, I can get the field strength. There's a one generalized discussion. Similarly, okay, well, we have one more important thing, like work done in moving a charged particle from 1 to 2 by electric field, by external agent. How to calculate this one? Because these will be very exclusive. I'll be using that one. So according to this formula, work done by electrostatic force in moving a charged particle from 1 to 2 should be equal to delta U, change in potential, minus of delta U. Work done by conservative force should be equal to minus delta U. Okay, then after with this, what do you mean by delta U? U2 minus U1. What is this? Potential G should be equal to Q into potential difference or potential charge into potential. So this charge you take outside. So this will become V2 minus V1, or this will become Q V1 minus V2. So work done by electrostatic force in moving a charged particle from 1 to 2 is equal to that particular charge into potential difference. How work done by electrostatic force and work done by the X-ray agent are related. So we know that there'll be always work done by X-ray agent in moving a charged particle should be equal to plus delta U. Because electrostatic force is a conservative force. Work done by conservative force should be equal to minus of change in potential. Work done by X-ray agent should be positive of change in potential. So from therefore, what we can write this as U2 minus U1. Then again solving. So how always work done by X-ray agent and work done by electrostatic force will be always equal and opposite. You can see from here. Note. Let me write it separately. Work done by X-ray agent in moving a charge from 1 to 2 should be negative of work done by electrostatic force in moving a charge from 1 to 2. All this is the thing which will help us a lot in solving some set of numericals. So what is the basic idea? If you know potential, you can get the electric field. Okay, any doubts? If you have, you can clarify. I'll directly enter into the numericals part. This will be very widely, you'll be coming across this. You have to remember this condition. Yellow color, green color, what I highlighted, finally, this is what we are going to use in the numericals. A very generalized conclusion. So you can see, you can work out so many numericals just based on this idea. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me directly. So what is use of this studying? See, now more math-based problems are there, but in physics, what happened rather than that math-based, no, we'll be focusing more on numericals of this kind. Okay, let's take a point charge. So I kept a point charge Q here. Now let me pick up 2 points, 1, 2, and say some arbitrary point 3. Now what is the potential at point 1, 2, 3 due to point charge? Potential at point 1, 2, 3 due to point charge should be equal because this is the circle of radius R. So potential at 1 equal to 2 equal to 3, which is equal to KQ by R. Will I agree? No. What is the work done by X-ray agent in moving a point charge from 1 to 2? Work done by an X-ray agent in moving a charge from 1 to 2. So some point charge, some test charge. How much of work it should do? It should be equal to V2 minus V1. And what is the potential at both the points? It is same. 0, no. So now, so one person what pen will move the charge like this. Next, you will move the charge along this one. There's a path. Next, you will move like this. So in all 3 paths, what is work done by him? Same, it is equal to 0. So therefore, we know that if a work done is independent of path, then what is that field? Conservative or non-conservative? Should be conservative field. So therefore, the field produced by a point charge is a conservative. Like this is what happened. We are going to give a proof for all these things. So here work done. So there's a path A, B, and C. Work done by X-ray agent in moving a charge particle along the path A, along the path B, along path C. It is equal to 0, or moreover, it is equal. So therefore, as work done is independent of path, as work done is independent of path, what is the conclusion we can make it? Work done is independent of path. So therefore, the field is conservative field. Getting the idea? So now similarly, how much of work it should do to move from 1 to 3, also the same thing. So it will be 0. Work done by X-ray agent in moving a charge particle from 1 to 3, or 2 to 3 will be 0. It's independent of path here. Now, instead of that, somewhere I'll pick up. Let me take one more question. Getting the idea, no? So this is about the direct application of what we learned it. Okay, let's take one more example. So there's a point charge Q. This is a point 1, and this is a point 2. It is at a distance R1, R2 from the point charge. Okay, there's a point charge. So now X-ray agent has to move the test charge from 1 to 2. What's the work done by him? We know how the field will be. I wanted to let me give a very good explanation for this. So we know due to point charge, there's a field, no? You see this? There's a point. From here, I wanted to move this one. So how is the path? It's left to him. So what is work done by X-ray agent in moving a charge from 1 to 2? So the formula will be work done by X-ray agent in moving a charge from 1 to 2 should be equal to the charge into V2 minus V1. KQ by R2, KQ by R1. This much of work it should do. How the path? Any path. He can pick up whichever path he likes. So there's a one path. He may go straight. He may take some path like this. He may go and come. So in any path, okay, this much of work he should do. By external agent, this is by external agent. Please try to follow the formula. Work done by external agent. Please, all of you write down these formulas in your notebook because I'll be discussing all the numericals related to this one only. Please, all of you note down first. Huh? Note down first this yellow color and green color highlighted formulas. Write down first, you write down, then I'll continue.
Sir, one doubt, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Sir, in work done by electric force, in moving a charge from 1 to 2 equals to minus delta U2, you wrote minus of U2 minus U1, no, sir? There it is, U2 is minus W, so it should become minus Q into V2, no, sir?
U2, due to positive charge, what is the potential for Q into V2, no? Why again you are changing the definitions? Huh? Positive charge, I took it, no? See,
Yes.
these are definitions. Don't question them. Finish or accept it. Huh?
Yes, sir.
All of you write down yellow colors and green color. First you write down, because again you'll be asking so many things related to these questions only. These fundamental formulas are there. So if you can, don't take it in wrong way, that one. That's why I'm asking you to first write down. Then I'll proceed. First you write down. Okay, let me proceed. Okay, fine. So here also, what is the thing? So whatever path, which path? Since it's a field produced by Poincare, no? So definitely, and electrostatic field is a conservative field. So therefore, it's independent of path here. So the same answer will come. Either you move from, either you move like this. Means you are, I'm X-agent. I'll be holding a charge Q. This charge Q, what when I'll move it slowly along this path. Then I'll come like this. Then I'll come this. I'll get the same work done. I have to do same amount of work. Getting the idea? So what is the meaning of this? What is this one? Work done. Work done by action agent in moving a charge Q from point 1 Okay, there's a primary discussion what we are making it. So since the field is conservative, so I need not to bother know how it is moved. I need not to bother. Do I know potential at these points 192S? I'll substitute. I'll get the answer. And is independent of charge. Okay, we'll write it. And is independent of path from point 1 and is, and concluding everything in the given data independent of path. Okay, you can take several examples of this kind. So let's do one thing. Let's take a diet application. See, I'll come to the math-based problem. Let me just focus primarily on the application part. I have there's a line charge. There's a point B. There's a point A. An X-agent has to move this charge along AB. Okay, this path will be, okay, there's a long line charge. There's a long line charge. There's a circular, quarter circular. Any path you can take it later on. So let me give you the question. Find the work done by an external agent in moving a charge Q naught from A to B along the circular path. Okay, there's a path. Okay, where is moving nearby long line charge. Okay, what is the direct formula? Okay, let's get into the formula. What is the formula? The formula says that The formula says that you should calculate the potential at A and B, no? I think the problem will be solved. Somehow we should get the potential at A and B. How to get potential at A and B due to long line charge? There's the one big headache. Yes, let's do one thing. Do we know electric field due to long line charge? Yes, we know. So what is the formula? The electric field due to long line charge is given by this one, 2 pi epsilon naught r. Then according to the formula, minus of E bar dot dr bar. So I want the potential difference between point A and B. I'll make it this distance 2A. No. So where is the point A? Point A is at a distance how much? It is at a distance 3A. Look at the limits. And point B is at a distance 2A, and the potential difference, this will be VA and VB. This is a generalized formula. Everywhere, substitute the limit, that's all. Don't change this formula. dV equal to, integral of dV is equal to minus of E bar dot BR, where you are moving from point A to point B. Limits I'll substitute later next step here. Okay, let's get into this one. So after this, it will be integral of or VB minus VA. One more step. Integral of A. What is the coordinate of A? 3A, and this is 2A. Lambda 2 pi epsilon naught. What is the angle between E bar and dr bar? I think I should write one more step here. E bar dr. So how E bar will be in this direction? What about dr? So what is the dr? So like how you are taking dr? So dr is what I'm moving from A to B, no, and it's independent of path, no. So can I move like this? First, I'll move from A to C, and then C to B. I can move like this also. Then what happens? You should calculate E bar at different points, then dr bar, then E dr cos theta. We know as the work done is independent of path, so therefore I can pick up a path of like this also. Now what shall I write? The angle between E bar and dr. How you measure E bar like this. And what is the dr? Dr is in this direction. And how E bar will be directed like this. So angle will be cos of 0 degrees. Okay, next step it will be VB minus VA equal to 3A 2A. What is value of E? 2 pi. It's some arbitrary point into dr. Okay, this will be VB minus VA minus of 3A 2A lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught r integral of dr is equal to lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught. This will become log of 2 by 3. Further, it will become log of 3 by 2. Okay, let's come down. Work done by external agent in moving a charge from A to B. What is the charge? Q naught. Should be equal to what, like VB minus VA. Opposite, no? A to B, it will become VB minus VA. So do we know potential difference? Yes, we know. Q naught lambda 2 pi epsilon naught. So tell me, like, do you have any other method other than this? Not possible. Huh? You need not to bother path, sir, how you took path. You need not to bother. Just it depends. You need potential difference between these 2 points. There's a main purpose of this discussion. Why we are giving relation between E and V so much of importance is so such a things we can work out very easily. Nearby different bodies, okay, will be taking help of this condition here. Actually, it's a numerical. Like I wanted to give the what is the purpose of giving E equal to minus dV by dr. So like what is the use of that? So the use of is only to calculate such thing. Next, okay, we'll see further application of this. Some of you are asking, okay, just I'll wait, no problem. And nearby any point, not only this, nearby any type of charged field, you can move it. Not only line charge, it's applicable for, I started with point charge, line charge, you can bring sheet, you can bring near the ring, the disk also. No, let's take the next discussion. So there is a uniform electric field is there. How to calculate potential difference in different types of fields. Okay, this is the electric field I'm having. Now there are 2 points are there. So point 1, point 2, and point 3. Okay, let this distance be 3 meters. Let this be 4 meters. The uniform electric field, let it be 10 volt per meter. Now, already you know equipotential points. Can you remember something we have discussed, the equipotential idea? So what are the equipotential surface for uniform field? It should be perpendicular. This is the equipotential line. So what about 192? The potential at 192 will be same. Can we calculate the potential difference between 2 and 3? The field is uniform. According to this formula, E equal to minus delta V by delta X. If the field is uniform, the formula will become very simple. E into delta X. And so what we should write here, no? I'll come with a basic definition. From there, let me start. What is our definition? Our definition is dV is equal to minus of E bar dot dr bar. Now let me find out the potential difference between point 2 and 3. V2, okay, this will become 2 and 3. So this will be V2 minus V3 is equal to minus of. Now what is the angle between E bar and dr? It is 0. Look at the E bar and dr, both are in the same direction. So this will become, and E is constant. So everything will come outside. Okay, agree this. So this will be V2 minus V3 equal to minus of E into. Now what is a dr? Dr will become like a R3, R2 minus R3. So further you can write it as V2 minus V3 as E into R3 minus R2. What is R3 minus R2? So if this you call B, this distance you call A. Let me take this one. So R3 minus R2, shall we write D? And this is the potential difference between point 2 and 3. So if you want to find out the potential difference between 2 points, and if the uniform electric field is there, what is the formula? Just multiply the electric field strength into distance between 2 points. And how the electric field be always directed from higher to lower potential. We know already this one. I think this will be much easier, no? So how much delta or V2 minus V3 is? Electric field strength is how much? 10. And what is the distance? 4. So how much it will be? 40 volt. What is the potential at 192? Will be equal. We can't tell absolute potential. Potential at 192 will be equal. Now I want potential difference between 1 and 3 also. Since V1 equal to V2, so what is the potential at 1 and 3? Potential at 1 and 3, potential difference between 1 and 3 again should be equal to V2 3 only. Any reason? Because potential at 1 is equal to 2. So what you calculate the potential difference between 2 and 3 should also be equal to 1 and 3. Any reason for that? Because it's a conservative field, no? And moreover, potential at 1 is equal to potential at 2. So V1 minus V3 should be equal to V2 minus V3. No, sir, I didn't agree. You do one thing, use same method. Solve it, you'll get the same answer. So here, what potential difference you get between 2 and 3, the same potential difference will be there between 1 and 3. Able to understand? Why 1 and 2 should be equal? Because 1 and 2 lie on equipotential. So what are equipotentials? For a uniform electric field, how the equipotential lines will be for this one? The equipotential lines so we'll agree this. So if this is point 1, A, B, C, D. So all these points are at same potential. Means 1 and 2 will be at same potential. V1 equal to V2 equal to VA. So let me take point 4. Potential at 3 equal to 4 equal to VB. So what are this red color dotted line? Equipotential surfaces. How the equipotential surfaces should be, the E bar should be always directed normal to the equipotential surface. I think this we have concluded previous class. Once again, I'm reminding you here. Able to understand now? This is so what you calculate now. So potential difference. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's analyze this problem. Potential difference V23 is equal to V24S. Similarly, it is also equal to V14. It is also equal to V13. Distance ma just distance R3 minus R2. You calculate somewhere here R3 and this is R2. R3 minus R2 should be equal to D, no? You take somewhere reference point here. Okay, like this, what happened? We can conclude regarding equipotential. So now in this particular field, either you calculate potential difference between 2, 3, between 2, 3 or 1, 4 or 2, 4 or 1, 3. They'll be same. Able to understand? Okay, let's take some other example. I'll take one more example. Okay, this I have uniform electric field. There's a uniform electric field which is making some angle. Let it be 30 degrees. Three to 2, see like a integral from 3 to 2. If you say integral 3 to 2 means you're moving from 3 to 2. The meaning is like this, the limits. Okay, there's a uniform electric field is there. So the magnitude of electric field, let it be 6 volt per meter. So let me choose 2 points. There's a point A. There's a point B. So OA. Four meter. Now I want like what is the potential difference between points A and B and work done by X-ray agent in moving a charge from B to A. Find VAB and work done by an X-ray agent in moving a charge to Coulomb from B to A. Very simplified one. You have to calculate potential difference between point A and B. Once you do that, I think you can manage everything. So the distances are given OA and OB. Now there's a uniform field. Are you looking at this? What is the field? Field is uniform. Non-uniform field, we'll see the next condition. If the field is non-uniform, what to do? Okay, let me proceed here. So I'll take help of the diagram. So we have, I'll find out this distance. Then I'll find out this distance. So what, and this point, let it be A1. This point, let it be B1. Please do make some observation which are very important. Now, potential at A is it equal to A1? Any reason? Because this will be equipotential line. So how you can say? Because a line perpendicular to the lines of force will be an equipotential line. So therefore, potential at A should be equal to A1. Similarly, potential at B should be equal to B1. Because again, there is an equipotential line. So take help of this condition. So we know from the diagram, VA equal to VA1, VB equal to VB1. Any reason? Because A1 lie on one equipotential line, B1 lie on one equipotential line. Now we know this angle 30 degrees. So this angle will be 30 degrees. It's asking to get the potential difference VAB. So shall we write this as VAO, VA1O plus VOB1? Can we calculate first potential difference A1O? So for that, we need distance A1O. So this from the geometry, cos 30 degrees should be equal to A1O by AO. So A1O equal to AO cos 30 degrees. What is the distance AO or OA? Is equal to 2 √3 by 2 or √3 meter. Okay, fine. So there's a distance A1O. Similarly, I want the distance OB1. So this angle will be 60 degrees. Cos 60 degrees should be equal to OB1 by OB. So OB1 equal to OB cos 60 degrees. So what is the distance OB is equal to 4 into 1 by 2, 2 meter. Next, if the field is uniform, what we should do? Directly multiply the electric field strength into distance. Previous formula. Somewhere. When to use this formula, when to integrate, when not to integrate. If the field is uniform, directly what you do, potential difference between 2 points means the distance between 2 points along the field into the field strength will give the potential difference. Are you getting now? I want the potential difference between 2 and 3. As the field is uniform, what you should do? Field strength into the distance between 2 points. Very, very important. The coming 4 chapters I'll be using to conclude such small thing. We are doing so much of electrostatics. Please do remember. Finally, what is the purpose of this electrostatics? To conclude such a thing. This is something very, very important. Please think 1,000 times on this one, not 1, 2, 1,000 times, because the coming chapter just revolves around only this idea. Because most of the numericals, what we do, applications are uniform field. So what is the potential difference in a uniform field where the 2 points separated by distance d? Multiply the field strength into distance. How you should measure? Along the field, not opposite. See, the electric will be directed from higher to lower potential. So therefore, I'm measuring it, E into D. Got it? So now the same thing is what I'm applying here now. Look at here now. So I want AB1. First, let me calculate potential A1O. What is potential A1O? Should be equal to the field strength into distance A1O. What is the field strength? 6 into product of A1O is √3. Similarly, potential difference VOB1 should be equal to field strength into OB1. What is the field strength? 6. OB1, 2. So 6 √3 plus 12. So I want potential difference A1B1 should be equal to VA1O plus, this should be equal to 6 √3 plus 12. Fine. But we wanted potential difference VAB, no? Since VA1 is equal to VB1, VB equal to VB1, VA equal to VA1. So therefore, VAB is in fact equal to VA1 B1. This will be your answer. Getting the idea? No, work done by X-ray agent in moving a charge from B to A. 2 coulombs of charge is going to move from B to A. What it should do for this? What shall I do? The next step, work done by X-ray agent in moving a charge from B to A should be equal to VA minus VB. Do we know charge 2 coulomb? I think this will be much easier method, no? Slightly the basic definitions. In a uniform field, finding potential difference is very easy. What is very easy? Just what you should do. The distance, what happened? This is very important. You should not measure the distance like this. The distance should be measured along the field. V equal to E into D. Once again, I'm putting, what is the D? The D is measured along E bar. Distance between 2 points separated by distance, like a potential difference between 2 points separated by distance D is equal to field strength into the distance measured along E bar between those 2 points. There's a meaning. I'm telling this, there's a worth million times you have to think, not you, the whole day better you think on this, get a clarity. That's enough. Tomorrow exam, even if you get a 0 marks, I'm least bothered. But this is very important. Again, okay, don't take 0 marks. I'm just wanted to tell you that what is the importance of this one. Between any 2 points, you can use this particular method. Okay, no, let's take the different types of field, what we'll encounter. Already in the work point chapter, I discussed so many numericals. The same thing are applicable. Once again, you need not to struggle everything. So I suggest you like go back to work point chapter. We have done so many numericals of this kind. Let's take the next type of field. So I'll take the point, let it be 1, 2, 2. So there's a uniform electric field is there. So I want the potential difference between these 2 points. How to calculate this one? Find potential difference VAB. There's a uniform electric field is there. Go back workmanship chapter. We have in fact came across such numericals. Will you draw the lines of force, again calculate equipotential, or directly will you take mathematics? I think the choice what I'm giving to student. Okay, let me do mathematically. Already we have done graphical method, no? Let me start with the mathematics here. So what is the basic formula? dV bar, dV is equal to minus of E bar dot D bar. Okay, I want the potential difference between points AB. So VA. So this will be VB minus VA equal to minus of E bar. E bar is 2I cap plus 3J cap dot. Okay, this is dr bar. Dr bar, you can write dxi cap dy j cap. So this will be VBA. Let me write timing VB minus VA only. Or put negative sign on this side, you'll get VAB. What should be the limit? 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay, first we'll go for I dot I will be 1. So this will become 2 integral of dx plus this will be 3 integral of dy. So the limit should be 1, 2 to 3, 5. So integral of this will be VA minus VB equal to 2x plus 3y. What shall I do after this? So VAB is equal to. How we should substitute the limit? For the x, I should substitute 3 minus. For the x, what happened? The limit will be x will be 3 minus 1. For the y, it should be okay, this will become 4 plus 5 minus 2 will be 3, 9. So 13 volt. Okay, I think this will be much easier, no? Or else what you should do? You should draw a lines of force, then locate a point, say in B, then get the distance between equipotential points you identify. Then since the field is uniform, work out this one. So there's a mathematics, this will go to help us a lot. Instead of going for drawing the lines of force and working out. Okay, fine. So let's take the other type of field. Let me take some bigger expression. E bar is equal to find the work done by an external agent in moving a charge 2 Coulomb from point A 0, 0 to point B 2, -1 meter. Okay, this is electric field strength they are given. So you have to find out the work done by external agent in moving a charge from point A to point B in this particular field. Look at the field, uniform or non-uniform. Shall I continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that one, some electric power gone. Okay, no. I'll do one thing. I'll proceed in this way. Like we know the mathematics what we did earlier. So this will be dV equal to minus of integral E bar down dr bar. So I want the potential difference between point A and B. So the limit will be, this will be VA, VB from A to B. So this will become VB minus VA, negative sign. Okay, next step I'll write it. So this will become this equation dot dx I cap dy j cap dz k cap. The limit will be 0, 0 to 2, -1, 4. VA minus VB, the negative sign I send on this side. So this will be integral of 12 xyz dx x square z dy x square y dz. This one. So this will be 0, 0, 0, 2, -1, 4. Okay, now can I do anything with this bracket term? I'll search for a derivative. So x square yz, if I differentiate, what do I get? I'll get this entire, the whole bracket term. The entire, the whole, all this will be given by this particular thing. See this, differentiate this x square yz, what you'll get? I think it is not.
Sir, not 12x said we can't get it.
No, wait. This is not 12, it is a 2, that one. Huh? Check it, no? The bracket I thought is 12. Please make observation that the very important addition is what let me differentiate this bracket. If I differentiate this bracket terms, what do we get? 2xy z dx, then the derivative, then again x square z dy, then x square y dz. So can I replace the whole bracket term and the derivative cancel out with a simple expression x square y z limit 0, let me substitute the limit. So the limit will be 2 square plus 1, 4. Lower limit will be 0. Finally, how much I'll get? 16 volt. Work done by X agent in moving a charge from A to B. So work done by an X agent. Charge from A to B means VB minus VA. VA minus VB 16 volt. VB minus VA will be plus 16 volt. So 2 into 16. 32 joules of work he should do to move a charge slowly from A to B. Every time we may not end up with a derivative of like this. No, sir, I don't know this mathematics. What shall I do? Some students like, sir, I don't know this. I'm not that good in math. How to manage? Or what is the alternative method? So when you are doing integration, what you should do is like, I'll just show you. Now, from where you started, 0, 0. First, you are going to integrate along x. When you are integrating along x-axis, what you should do? There's a method. 0, 2, you are going to integrate. Then, first what will happen? You are starting from 0, 0, no? So what is the value of y and z? What is the value of y and z? Y and z are 0, no? So you have to substitute here this to be 0, this to be 0. I think I'm just writing powers there. It's not a power, the value of that, or I'll write it below. There's a bracket, no? In the bracket, we'll write it. Then what is the value of y and z? In fact, they're 0. Now you're integrated. Now where you are at 2, 0, 0. Then you are going to integrate along y-axis. Then already what is there? X has reached the value of 2, no? So then the limit, then it should be here x square. The value of this is 2. What is the value of z? The value of z is in fact 0. Then you are going to integrate along y-axis. Then what should be the limit? 0 to -1. Now where you are at 2, -1, 0. Then you are going to integrate along z-axis. When you're integrating along z-axis, now tell me like the value of x. The value of x is what? 2. The value of y is what? -1. Then you are going to integrate from 0 to 4. Okay, because of this, it will become like this. 2 into 0, 2 into 0. Why 0? I should substitute. Then here 2 square integral 0 to 4. With the quantities 0, 0. Finally, what we are getting? -4 dz. I'll check it. Let me check the. Can you hear me now clearly?
Yes, sir.
Now okay. Some network problem was there. Okay, let's carry on. Okay, now tell me, like, you have two methods. I'll show both the things, which will be easier. The first one is easier, provided you should be very good in the mathematics. So this I don't know how to search the derivative. Okay, then first you integrate along x-axis, then along y-axis, along that. I think this will be really very difficult. No, you have to be very extra alert. Very extra alert. This is the other alternate method. What this is the first thing they brought it. Then later on, using partial derivative, they introduced this one. Just do make of the. I think we have discussed this in work.ng chapter. I do remember. Every time we may not end up with this one, but this is universal, applicable in all situations. Every time we may not end up with this equation. Equation of this kind may not come. I'll take one more question. Books, you have plenty of these kind of. There's plenty of questions are there, not one, two, plenty are there. So it's left to you practice few questions, that'll be sufficient. Let me take you. Vignesh, don't change the definitions, please. I have given the definition, follow it. No need to have second thought. Just simple. What I told you, accept it, or don't bring your own ideas and don't confuse everyone. Please accept your teacher first. Please accept teacher. What is their content? Just finish over. Because these are definitions. No, don't change them. So instead of trying to understand what you're doing, you are changing them and getting confusion. As it is, just accept. No, you're at learning stage. First you accept it. A comma 0 comma 0 B is and this uniform electric field. So you have to calculate the work done by exchange agent in moving a charge of -2 coulombs from A to B. Find work done by an external agent carry on now. Does the same similar formula? dV is equal to minus of this is VA, VB, this is from A to B. So this will become VB minus VA equal to minus of 3x square y I cap x cube j cap so this will be 0, 0 to 1, 1. So this will become VA minus VB. Negative sign I send on this side. So this will become integral of 0, 0 to 1, 1, 3x square y dx plus x cube dy. Can we search for any derivative? So this will become 0, 0, 1, 1. This will be, I think, x cube y. The derivative integral will cancel out, so we'll end up with this will be 1. So work done by X-ray agent in moving a charge of minus q into from B to A. This will be formula. So minus 2. So this will be minus 1. 2 joules. Not only field can be of any different type. These are math based. I think by this time you came to know. So that simple like this, I can give any equation. I'll ask you to find out the potential difference. Let's see a few more, then I'll wind up this topic. E bar is equal to you have to find out the potential difference between 2 points. So this will become integral of d bar equal to minus E bar dot dr bar. There's a point AB. We'll choose some any arbitrary points. So like this will be 0, 0 to x, y. So then this will become VAB. Negative sign I adjusted here. So this will become 2axy I cap plus ax square y square j cap dot potential difference VAB is equal to this will become integral of 2axy dx. Okay, can we write in any form? Can we write something derivative so that integral derivative will cancel out? So not possible anything. So what is the method? Alternative method? 2a y integral of x dx. Then we have integrated. Now we are at ax squared dy, ay squared dy. So when we are integrating, what we have to do? We have to take care about the limits. So what are the limits here? This will be 0, 0 to x. Already I integrated. So the value of x here will be x. This will be 0 to y. This will be 0 to y. Then first I'm going to integrate this one. So VAB is equal to 2a. The value of y is 0. So therefore this will be 0 to x, x dx. No need to integrate, just leave it here. Plus, already I integrated along x. So this will become now ax square integral of dy. Let me write one more step. Then a y square dy, 0 to y. So this will be 0 ax square y, a y cube by 3. Okay, agree this. So if they give field, okay, we can use this. We can, if the field is uniform, okay, we have like that formula is there. Or if they give uniform electric field, lines of force, we know method. If the field is non-uniform, the only method available is this integration method. Again, there are two types are there. Can you search for derivative, or if no derivative is there, then first we'll integrate along x, then along y, then along. If you check the advanced paper, they may not show much interest on asking these things because they're just pure math based. Of course, any application problem may come, but only testing on this may not be suitable as far as advanced level is concerned. Okay, similarly about the, if you know electric field, how to calculate like a potential. If you know potential, so I do have this. There's a potential is given by A ay square plus bz square. I want the potential function. That's an electric field function. So if I differentiate with respect to x, I'll get the potential. So this will become 2ax. Similarly, if I differentiate with respect to y, this will become minus 2ay. If I differentiate with respect to z, minus 2bz. So what is the resultant field will be Ex bar, Ex I cap, Ez k cap. Okay, this everything what will happen will this is E bar. So if you know potential function, it will be much easier to calculate. So differentiate with respect to x, x component, you'll get differentiate with respect to y, y comp difference z, you'll get the z component of the electric field. Now, let's go for other thing. If they give potential, means, okay, there's about the equation I gave it. Means if they give some potential function, how to calculate. If they give equipotential surfaces, can we make a guess of what can be the type of field. Suppose that these are equipotential surfaces here. Okay, these are some equipotentials. So this will be 50 volt, 40 volt, 30 volt, 20 volt. Can we say anything about the field strength at various points? The separation this is uniform, so this will be 2 centimeter. The separation here 4 centimeter. The separation here is 3 centimeter. Now, can we say first about the electric field strength? Now, what are these lines? They are the equipotential surfaces. If I give equipotential surfaces, can we just roughly say that what is the direction of electric field, and can we say about how much of field strength at a given point? How the electric field strength vector should be directed? It should be always directed perpendicular to equipotential surfaces. So here I have to draw. This may not be exact, just to make you understand I'm bringing. So it will be here. You have to see that everywhere the lines of force should be perpendicular to equipotential. In that way, it has to be drawn. There's a maybe rough diagram. This will be the lines of force. No, at points P1, P2. Okay, there's a point P1, P2, and P3. I'm asking you to estimate the average electric field. So we know what is electric field. E1 should be equal to delta V by delta X. What is the delta V potential difference? 50 minus 40 by what is the separation? 2 centimeter. So how much it will be? 10, 5, 0.05 volt per meter. Is it okay? Because it is there in centimeter, no? Similarly, what about average electric field at point 2? Point 2 will be 40 minus 30 by separation. What is the separation? 4 centimeter. So this will become 40 minus 30 by 4 centimeter. 10 by 4, 5 by 2, 2.5. So 0.025 volt per meter. Then electric field strength at point P3. 30 minus 20 by 3 centimeter. 10 by 3, 3.3 or 0.033 volt per meter. Look at the field strength. Like this average, this is not exact. Because again, here the field will be variable. Average fields at 0.1923, I'm predicting here.
Sir, centimeter is in the denominator, no, sir. So it will be multiplied by 100.
Centimeter, huh? Correct, no? Multiply by 100, no? 50 will become,
sir.
Yeah, 500 it will be. No, 50 it will be. 500 it will become. This will be 250. 3.33, 33. This will be 10 by 4, no? 2.5. 2.5 into 10. 2.5 into 10 will be 250. This will be 10 by 3, 3.33. Check once. Some. So if they give some equipotential surfaces like this, as we can roughly estimate. What is the method here? The electric field strength vectors should be such that it should be perpendicular to equipotential surface. That's the one basic idea. No, instead of this, if the equipotential surfaces are, I have a space here, I'll draw it here. Okay, these are the equipotential surfaces where the potentials are given 50 volt, 40 volt, 30 volt, 20 volt, 10 volt. Okay, zero potential, let me not show it. And these distances are yeah. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. X is in centimeter. Okay, what I want is like, I want the electric field strength vector. Electric field strength vector. These are the equipotential planes. What is the basic idea? Like E equal to delta V by delta X. That's all, no? So what is the condition for delta X? Just I'll close the window. No. What is the condition for delta X? How delta X should be measured? I'll have water. Let me have water also. Can you hear me? Shall I continue? Okay, some again power gone. No. What is delta X? Anybody? How I should measure delta X? This is very, very fundamental question. Delta X should be measured normal to along E bar. That's the basic idea, no? Or it should be measured normal to the equipotential surfaces. So very, very simple. Delta X is measured along E bar. I'll write it. Measured along E bar. Okay, now I know this distance. What is this? This is the 1 centimeter. And we know how E bar should be perpendicular to the equipotential surface. Therefore, so shall we bring the idea like this? Then what is delta X here? So will you take delta X this one or this one? This should be the delta X or delta R. I'll write it because X I think will confuse. So what is delta R? Delta R shall I write here? This one. First of all, how E bar will be? There's a primary question we have to ask also. The E bar will be directed in this way. Normal to the equipotential surface. So therefore, this cannot be delta R. In fact, this is delta R. The equipotential surfaces, let them make angle 30 degrees. So we know this angle 30 degrees. Then can we calculate now? We know delta X, this is so cos sine 30. Yeah, sine 30 will be delta R by delta X. So delta R is equal to delta X sine 30 degrees. Delta X is 1 centimeter. So this will become 1 by 2. let's get into the calculation part. What is the calculation says? We know potential difference. What is the E bar? E bar is magnitude is needed, no? Delta V, 50 minus 40 by delta. Delta is how much? 0.5. So this is in centimeter, you have to convert into meters. So how much you get? 10 by 0.5, 100 by 5, 20, 2000 volt per meter, the magnitude. I want the direction. What is this angle? 60 degrees it will be. So what is the electric field vector will be? E cos 60 degree I cap minus E sin 60 degree J cap. So what is the value of E? 2000. Cos 60 will be 1 by 2 I cap 2000 root 3 J cap. So what is the resultant field vector will be? 1000 I cap minus 1000 root 3 J cap volt per meter. If they give the potential equipotential surfaces, can you find out E bar S? There are two types of potential surface I brought. One which is where non-uniform electric field. Here, what is the field? Field will be non-uniform. What about this red color arrows? Lines of force. Complete description are there in front of you. Just do make observation. It's a very small idea. Like some books, they are going to some very high level, may not be needed for us, I feel. It's a pure mathematical one. So unnecessary books, they're given plenty of numericals, but just we need some basic idea. If you know equipotential surface, can you find out field S? If you know field, all this, what is very important? If I have electric field, see, I'm once again, I have electric field vector and these points. What is the potential difference in 1 and 2? V12 should be equal to E into D because the field is uniform. This is what needed for us. Or 1 by from 1 to 2. This is what finally we have to conclude this much in this chapter. Okay, now let's explore the different types of numericals. If I have a field, what are the possible? Is it possible to have such a field? configuration, is it possible? It's an electrostatic field. Strictly, it's a purely electrostatic field. What is the basic idea? Work done by electrostatic, like a work done in a closed path. Work done by conservative field in a closed path must be 0. I'm going to take help of that condition. So I'll bring a closed path. So what is the closed path? Okay, let me start like this. Then I'll point 1, 2, 3, 4. Work done in a closed path must be 0. Net work done in a closed path 1, 2, 3, 4 should be 0. It's a conservative field. I'm saying it's electrostatic field, first of all. It's an electrostatic field. So is it possible? I'm asking. So first, what is work done in the path 1, 2? Where the field strength is more? At 1 or at path 1, 2 or 3, 4? Definitely at 1, 2, it's more. No spacing between the lines is here less. Yes, spacing between lines is more. So the field strength at point A. So EA will be greater than EB. Then what about the work done in the path 2, 3, and 4, 1 will be 0 because E bar will be directed perpendicular to the you know many concepts of work done, take help of that. So how E bar along for path 2, 3 E bar will be perpendicular. So what is work done along the path? Work done along the path 1, 2, select it 2, 3 and 4, 1 is 0. Any reason for that? E bar perpendicular to DL bar. No, work done along the path 1, 2 should be equal to, shall we go for like a Q E bar, like a force like a Q into EA bar dot DL bar. Work done along the path 3, 4 equal to Q EB bar dot DL bar. But we know it's a conservative field. What is the net work done by conservative field in a closed path? Why it should be 0? Because it's a conservative field. From this description, what I can say that W12 not equal to W34. So what happened? Work in closed path has in fact become non-zero. So therefore the field is a not possible. It's not a conservative, but electrostatic field must be conservative. So therefore such a field is not possible. Getting the idea? If they give any field, work in closed path must be 0. If it is not 0, then it's not electrostatic field. Any reason for that? Because all electrostatic field must be conservative, produced by static charges. I'm making some conditions clear. Electrostatic field produced by a static charges must be a conservative field. I'm saying this field is produced by a static charges. So then what happened? The work in closed path must be 0, but I'm getting non-zero. So how do you can say non-zero? You see that I'll move from 1 to 2. What is the length of the path? Let it be say some L. There's no problem. Then what is the biggest problem here is like the field strength at A is greater than B. So when I add up these two, will not become 0. In fact, it will be non-zero. So net work then in closed path will be non-zero. So therefore, such a field is not possible. So what is the conclusion I can make it? This is for conservative field. They're the only method available for it. According to the data, it is non-zero. Net work done is for path 1, 2, 3. So therefore, such a field is practically not possible. Okay, fine. Let me give one more field of this kind. Concentric circles, I'll bring it. Is it possible such a field? One more will have. No. Now look at there's a field. So again, you do one thing. You take closed path. What is the closed path? Just very simple. The closed path, can it be like this? Calculate the work done. Will be non-zero. Similarly here, I'm asking you to take a closed path here. Will be non-zero. Network and closed path will be non-zero. So therefore, definitely these are not possible. There's only alternative available for us. So network done. So we'll give the points 1, 2. So not possible. Such a field not possible. These are very popular questions where they'll ask you. So you should use only there's an alternative method available for us. Let me give next one more few. This will be 0 volt, 10 volt, 20 volt, 30 volt. Now, these are some troublesome diagrams will be given for you. So these are the lines of force. These are equipotential lines. Arising from a static charge. Has been shown in a region. These are the equipotential points here. Now, can you say about the lines of force at point A, then at B, then at C? Is asking us to roughly, can you predict about how the electric field lines will be at A? And if I release charge at A, will it move along the field line passing through A? So I'll dictate the question. First one, draw the electric field lines roughly. It's asking to predict the lines of force. If a charge if charge is released at point A, will it move along the field passing through point A? What is the work done in moving a charge from A to C? Third one, work done by external agent in moving a charge of 2 coulomb from A to C. Okay, very simple idea I brought it. These are equipotential surfaces. Can we say anything about the lines of force? What is the basic method? How the lines of force should be? Should be directed from higher potential to lower potential. The electric field line should be directed from higher to lower potential. Will I agree this? Because the electric field will be directed from higher to lower potential. So therefore, the if I'm plotting, and what is the method? The lines of force should be perpendicular to what? To equipotential surfaces. Yeah. Now what shall I do? I'll keep point A here. We will directly start from here. The lines of force I should draw in such a way that it should be perpendicular, no? I'll continue, just make observation. So it should be everywhere, it should be perpendicular. Hope I'll try to. Everywhere you have to see that it will be perpendicular to the equipotential. There's a one basic necessity condition. Similarly, what happened? We can try another line here. Is it a uniform or non-uniform electric field? I think I can do only this much here. Is it a field is uniform or non-uniform? You suggest will be non-uniform. The field will be in fact non-uniform. Okay, there's a point B. How the arrow you have to show in this way, no? I think this is the correct one. Getting this? Okay, after this, no. If the charge is released at point A, will it move along the field passing through point A? Means along the lines of force. I'll release a test charge here. So will it move in this direction? Anybody? Already we have discussed this concept, no? Anyone who wants to say yes or no? If a charge particle, test charge, is released at point A, it will move along this red color line. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Please think once and answer yes or no, because we are going to almost conclude this very important. If I release it, will it move along this direction? When the charge particle will move along lines of force, only in case of isolate field produced by isolated point charge. Am I right? I gave exclusively this explanation also with the help of diagram. If a test charge is released, it will move along the lines of force when it is possible, in case of only field produced by isolated point charge. What is this field? This is not produced by isolated point charge. So definitely what you can say that one. It will not move along lines of force. The answer is no. So what are lines of force? Is it a path traced by the test charge released in that field? The answer is no. So what is the lines of force? If you draw a tangent, it will give the resultant T bar. Work done by X agent in moving a charge of 2 coulomb from A to C. What shall I do? Work done by X agent in moving a charge from A to C should be equal to Q into VC minus VA. Q, 2 coulomb. What is VC? VC is 60 volt. VA is how much? 90. 60 joules of minus 60 joules of work is what it should do. Now the test charge, if I release here, can it reach point C? If I release test charge at point A, will it reach C? No, we can't say like that, because the electrostatic force cannot move the test charge along the lines of force. X agent I can move, but will it depends on path how I move? This answer minus 60 joules, will it depends on path? Means I'll move like this, then I'll move like this, then I'll move in this way. Will it depends on path? No, independent of path here. Again, this answer is any reason? Because it's a conservative field, no? Because what all this field is a conservative field. Because sir, how you can say conservative field? I have here, look at this. The field produced by static charges must be conservative. Getting some very generalized conclusions there. Any doubt you can clarify? Any doubt if you have, you can clarify. It's a very good conceptual things. May not be good numericals are not there, but there's a very generalized today what we discussed. No, huge applications. When we go for next chapter, no, these are the things which will help us. Not like something like a finding electric field due to line charge. Okay, those things may not help us. But today's concept is what are very fundamental. I'm making things clear. They're very, very, very fundamental. So let me summarize once again. If you release a test charge in an electric field, first of all, the field produced by static charges will be conservative. Okay, fine. If you release a test charge in an electric field, it need not move along lines of force. If you release a test charge in a field produced by isolated point charge, it will move. This is not field produced by a point charge. So it didn't say no, static charge is said. So therefore, it will not move along the lines of force. Then what is another condition? The lines of force should be, E bar should be directed normal to the equipotential surface. This is a basic condition. Then afterwards, then 2 lines of force, can they intersect? No. 2 equipotential surfaces, can they intersect? The answer is no. Because if the 2 equipotential surfaces intersect, then what is the problem? At a given point, you may get two E bars. Not possible, no? There should be only unique. The direction of electric field is unique. It cannot have two different directions. So two equipotential surfaces cannot intersect. Lines of forces cannot intersect. Lines of force will be directed from higher to lower. The electric will be directed from higher to lower potential. If the spacing between the lines is less, the field strength should be more. Okay, all these are some general things. If they give lines of force, you should know what all the features. If they give equipotential, you should know what are the features. And once again, I want E equal to potential difference equal to E into D. What is delta V? Potential difference between 2 points which are separated by distance D, where the D is measured in the direction of E. This is applicable for uniform electric field only. Field is non-uniform, we should go for integration. And the electric field lines will be always directed from higher to lower potential. Can you able to? I think I'll summarize all the points so that it will be easy for you, because I think definitely everyone will forget. This can be the possible questions that can be asked, conceptual questions can be asked. So let me put all one by one. A test charge released in an electric field will move along the field, will move along the lines of force if the field is produced by is the condition. A test charge released in electric field will not move along. One word, move is missing, no? If the field is produced by charged body. Okay, now other condition. Then how the E bar regarding lines of force, two lines of force should not intersect. Two equipotential surfaces should not intersect. Next again, E bar vector, E bar must be directed normal to equipotential surface. These are very fundamental things. Then last one, delta V equal to E into D for uniform field. For non-uniform field, there is a formula. This is what I'll be using in applications. I'm making things clear. Okay, agree this. So these are the some very fundamental, and the field produced by last one more field by static charged system must be conservative. In nature, and work done in closed path in a conservative field must be 0. That I'll write in the mathematical form. Because as it is a conservative field. Okay, so see this, these are some all very core basic fundamentals. So means like, see, like when you, sir, I know electrostatics. Okay, these are the things what you must have concluded. This one, these are the conclusions finally. Okay, I gave one example of line charge. No, like this, I can ask you anywhere, or point charge, line charge, or the E bar. So wide varieties of numericals are there. So please try to work out few numericals. It will be in a better position. And conservation of mechanical energy. This is something fundamental what we discussed. So take help of all this and try to work out different numericals. Okay, I think we'll wind up the class, and then after this we'll have a counseling session. Okay, try to revise numericals from the different types of numericals which are available in basic textbooks. No, then you'll get overall picture. So try to work out all that math-based problems also. Nothing, no problem. Work out few so that you'll be in a better position in exam. Okay, we'll wind up the class. Okay, thank all of you. Take care.